Illnesses enter through the subtle body, don't they? How can they be stopped? Illnesses enter through the subtle body, don't they? How can they be stopped? Here we are. If one is very sensitive, one must be very sensitive. The moment they touch the subtle body and try to pass through, one feels it. It is not like something touching the body, it is a sort of feeling. If you are able to perceive it at that moment, you have still the power to say no and it goes away. But for this one must be extremely sensitive. However, that develops. All these things can be developed methodically by the will. You can become quite conscious of this envelope, and if you develop it sufficiently, you don't even need to look and see. You feel that something has touched you. You can very easily feel a kind of little discomfort. It is not something which is imposed with a great force. A little uneasiness coming near you from anywhere at all, front, behind, above, below. If at that moment you are sufficiently alert, you say no, as though you were cutting off the contact with great strength and it is finished. If you are not conscious at that moment, the next minute or a few minutes later, you get a queer, sick feeling inside, a cold in the back, a little uneasiness, the beginning of some disharmony. You feel a maladjustment somewhere, as though the general harmony had been disturbed. Then you must concentrate all the more and with a great strength of will. Keep the faith that nothing can do you harm, nothing can touch you. This suffices. You can throw off the illness at that moment, but you must do this immediately. You understand you must not wait 5 minutes. It must be done at once. If you wait too long and begin to feel really an uneasiness somewhere and something begins to get quite disturbed, then it is good to sit down, concentrate and call the force. Concentrate it on the place which is getting disturbed, that is to say, which is beginning to become ill. But if you don't do anything at all, an illness indeed gets lodged somewhere, and all this because you are not sufficiently alert. And sometimes one is obliged to follow the entire curve to find the favorable moment again and get rid of the business. I have said that somewhere that in the physical domain, all is a question of method. A method is necessary for realizing everything. And if the illness has succeeded in touching the physical well, you must follow the procedure needed to get rid of it. This is what medical science calls the course of the illness. One can hasten the course with the help of spiritual forces, but all the same, the procedure must be followed.